Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 11, Lesson 78, and we're staying with the comma, but today we give it three very specific jobs. First, setting off a person's title or degree. Second, punctuating an address or a place name. And third, handling dates and numbers, where a single comma in the wrong spot, or a missing one, can trip a reader up. By the end, you'll know exactly where each comma belongs, and, just as usefully, where it doesn't. Let's dig in. Let's begin with a person's title or degree. When a title or an academic degree follows someone's name, we set it off with a comma. Here's the idea. This is Marcus Bell, our new principal. That single comma tells the reader that our new principal simply renames Marcus Bell. It's the same person, described another way. A degree works exactly the same. We invited Elena Ruiz, PhD. The comma drops in right after the name, keeping the person and the title neatly apart. Now, here's the part writers most often miss. When the title sits in the middle of a sentence, with words on both sides of it, you need a comma before it and a comma after it. Watch. Christina Lundgren, MD, will speak tonight. There's a comma after Lundgren and a second comma after MD, so the degree is fenced in on both sides. It works with any title, not just degrees. Our coach, Harold Yee, ran onto the field. Two commas again, one on each side of Harold Yee. If you drop that second comma, the sentence stumbles, so always close the pair. Let's move to addresses. When you write an address inside a sentence, you place a comma after each part. Here's a full one. 622 Van Buren Street, Richmond, Indiana, 47374. A comma follows the street, another follows the city, and the state leads right into the zip code. Notice that last detail. There is no comma between Indiana and the zip. The state and its zip travel together. A shorter address follows the same pattern. Send it to 40 Cedar Lane, Marietta, Ohio. Each comma simply marks where one part of the address ends and the next begins. Closely related are geographical terms, a city paired with its state. The rule has a twist people forget. You put a comma between the city and the state, and then, if the sentence keeps going, another comma after the state. Look, Mason, Ohio is the site of the park. There's the expected comma after Mason, but notice the second comma, right after Ohio, before the sentence continues into, is the site. It's easy to leave that one out. Here's another. We drove through Austin, Texas at dawn. Again, a comma after Austin and a comma after Texas. Whenever the sentence continues past the state, you close it off with that comma. Dates work on the very same principle. When you write a full date, each part gets a comma, and the year, sitting at the end, needs a comma after it as well when the sentence continues. Listen. On Thursday, May 24, 1994, she got the news. A comma follows Thursday, a comma follows the day, 24, and then a comma follows the year, 1994, before the sentence moves on. That final comma is the one writers skip most. Here's a shorter date doing the same thing. The store opened on June 3, 2016, downtown. The year is closed off with a comma, so the sentence can continue smoothly. Now, just as important, the times you should not use a comma. First, when a date gives only the month and the day, leave the comma out. July 12th, no comma. Second, when a date gives only the month and the year, again, no comma. January 1993. The comma only shows up when all three parts, day and month and year, appear together. And third, Never put a comma between a state and its zip code. We write Columbus, Ohio, 43210, a comma after the city, but just a space before the zip. Keep those 3 exceptions in mind and you won't over-punctuate. Let's pull it all into a quick check. 1. Does a title or degree follow a name? Then set it off with commas, and if it's mid-sentence, remember both of them. 2. Are you writing an address or a full date? Put a comma after each part. 3. Does the sentence keep going after the last part, the state or the year? Then add 1 more comma to close it off. And hold on to the exceptions. No comma for a month and day alone, a month and year alone, or between a state and its zip code. Run that check and your commas will land exactly where they belong. Let's practice. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll give you a name with a title or an address, and you'll decide where the comma belongs. Pause the video and try each one before I reveal the answer. Our new mayor, Dana Cole, will visit our school. Hear the phrase, our new mayor renames Dana Cole, and it sits in the middle of the sentence. That means we need a comma on both sides, and the missing one goes right after Cole. So the answer is a comma after Cole. We stopped in Reno, Nevada on our way west. There's the comma between Reno and Nevada, of course, but the sentence keeps going, so Nevada needs a comma after it too. So the answer is a comma after Nevada. Mail it to Dayton, Ohio, 45402. It's tempting to add a comma before those numbers, but the state and its zip code always travel together with only a space between them. So the answer is no comma before the zip. Nice work. In this second set, we'll focus on dates. Read each one and decide whether it needs commas or none at all. Pause and try each before I answer. She was born on May 9th, 1980 in Ohio. This is a full date, month, day, and year, so the day gets a comma, and because the sentence continues, the year gets a comma after it as well. So the answer is a comma after 1980. The bridge opened in October 1932. Here we're given only the month and the year, no day at all. When just those 2 parts appear, they take no comma between them. So the answer is no comma. Our meeting is set for March 14th. This time we have only the month and the day, with no year following. A month and day by themselves take no comma, so the answer is no comma. Let's gather up what we learned today. First, set off a person's title or degree with a comma, and when it falls in the middle of a sentence, wrap it with a comma on both sides. Second, put a comma after each part of an address, a place name, or a full date. And don't forget the comma after the last part when the sentence keeps going. And third, hold on to the exceptions. No comma when you have only a month and a day, only a month and a year, or between a state and its zip code. Master those, and your titles, addresses, and dates will always be punctuated with confidence. Great work! I'll see you in the next lesson.